Hey friends, Angelique here. I just wanted to do a quick video. My friend Mark Copeland and I were talking about this last week, and we were discussing supply chain transformations and the difference between the two huge ones. And we were thinking about just simply, maybe people don't even realize that there are two supply chain transformations that your team should be working on within healthcare supply chain. And we would just maybe overlook it and say, well, yeah, it seems normal, but maybe not everyone would think so. So I wanted to kind of do a video on it and just kind of explain to everybody the difference between the two large transformations that your team should be working on. And then hopefully that would help you out. So the first one being, gosh, about I don't know, 25, 30 years ago, Supply Chain Transformation 101, which was really just kind of bringing all of supply chain function into supply chain. So procurement, purchasing activity, inventory control, contracting, those functions should be within your supply chain team. Now, if you are an IDN, if you're a large health system, especially, you would not want, for example, nursing managing inventory in a cabinet somewhere and not having supply chain managing that, right? Or somebody having a contract that they signed in their drawer and that not kind of coming to supply chain to manage in our repository and in our management. Because honestly, we are the experts in supply chain management, right? So we should be managing all the functions within supply chain. So this is really just supply chain 101. It really also kind of leads to the fact that you really have to have one supply chain because you need all eyes and ears kind of out there, hearing what's going on, seeing what's going on, and so like your site operations teams can see and hear what's happening at the site, let system office procurement and contracting teams know what they're finding and what they're hearing, clinical value analysis teams, what they're hearing. These things are super important, and that's why we really want to make sure all of you are functioning as one supply chain from system office team members to your site team members. So that's number one transformation. I would not really move on to the second one, which is clinically integrated supply chain transformation, until you have a good 85%, 90% of your supply chain transformation 101 done. Because if you think about it, you having that completed or almost completed, right? I mean, there may be some contracts you haven't found or a drawer of inventory you haven't found, but you want to have the visibility of all of that, right? All your spend on PO, all your spend on contract. If you don't have that, it's really hard to move into clinically integrated supply chain because that data and being able to see the visibility of all that data and running the data is super critical for that. So then thinking about clinically integrated supply chain, that is the next large transformation that probably started, well, depending on the health system that started it and was really doing it well, maybe 10 or 15 years ago. Some more of the more advanced healthcare systems were doing it. And that really is the whole focus, that supply chain isn't making the decision. So supplies and services decision making is not happening and governed by supply chain. If you think about all your spend across your healthcare system for all supplies, technology, equipment, purchase services, that's every single employee. So that's not just supply chain making those decisions in a silo. So just think about not just like initiatives in contracting, like you want physicians to lean into your spine initiatives, or you want nursing to lean into evaluations for simple commodity items, right? That seems pretty simple. That's why you have clinical value analysis or you have value analysis program. But really thinking about even if you want to do self-distribution, like who should lean into that decision. It shouldn't just be supply chain. If you want to do two-bin Kanban in your PAR locations, that is not just a supply chain decision. That is a 50% nursing decision and a 50% supply chain decision. So having a governance model, having some kind of governance committee that governs supplies and services decision making is super important. But that is how all of your stakeholders lean into the supply chain functions and help with the governance of, the choosing of, and that really is, your clinically integrated supply chain. And then with that, it's not just focusing on costs anymore, right? It's then focusing on safety, quality, satisfaction of your staff, but also of your patients. Evidence, clinical evidence data, clinical practice standardization, all those things, kind of roll up into that and help you with that clinically integrated supply chain. So those are like the two main transformations. Make sure you've done number one before you do number two. If you haven't started either of them, start the first one. Because, oh my goodness, you really need to. And if you guys have any questions, you know how to reach out to me. I'm here to always help. I'm here to help train and mentor everybody, and really making sure if somebody's got like a question, I don't understand this, or my leadership team may not be mentoring me on this, so I really want to get mentored. Reach out to me, let me know, and I will help you on your journey. I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.